Welcome to Mrs. Peach Thrifty Living. I'm so happy you are here today. Today is hashtag budget meals under $5. It is hosted by our friend Brenda at Maniac Grammy's Homestead. And this is not a whole meal. This is Scottish scones. I made this recipe a long time ago and it is such a good one. That is, I remember it is such a good one. I hope I remember right. So I thought I would pull this recipe out and make it for you and see if you like it. And it's easy to make. Maybe you would like to try it. So let's turn my camera down where you could see what I'm doing. And here is my recipe. That's my yellowed recipe that I've had in my recipe box. Start off with 2 cups of flour. Many of my recipes I make, I don't bother to get exact measurements. Some things you might want to more often than not. And since I haven't made this in a long time, that's 2 cups of flour. I'm using just all-purpose flour that I got at Walmart. The next ingredients is 4 tablespoons of sugar. There are sweet scone recipes, you know, they have blueberries and different kinds in it. Okay, there's our sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. There, okay. 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. I don't use cream of tartar very much, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And usually, you know me, I usually pour it in my hand, but that time it's close to right. That is all the dry ingredients. I'm going to just take my knife, the knife that I just used to measure off my exact flour. It calls for, I wrote margarine down here, and I do have some. I do have butter in the refrigerator, so I'm sure they're interchangeable, but I'm going to use margarine in this case for 1 cube. And I could dump the whole thing in there right away, but I think I'll, and I've seen Miss Brenda, she had one of those butter cutters, and I had not even thought of one of those in a long time. I guess her butter cutter would have been really nice. And you all have seen one of these. Now, if you don't have one of this, you can use 2 knives, 2 forks, all kinds of things, but I have had this one for years. I'm not sure this was Pampered Chef or not. Just take this and keep doing this till it gets to be crumbly. And every once in a while you might want to get your knife and clear off the what's stuck to the little, what are these pastry cutters? What I think they're called. And let's keep going. And it looks like it's already doing a pretty good job. If you want to work some muscles up, do part of it on one hand and part on the other where you'll be even. Now that is getting crumbly. Want all that butter mixed in where when it melts, it'll be melting all the way through. You could put blueberries in this. You could put raisins in this, cinnamon in it. I thought about putting peaches in it. I didn't know there, I think I would have to drain the peaches pretty well. Okay, you can see, I think I'm going to count that as good. See that? It calls for 3/4 cup of milk. And I'm just going to pour it all in. I'm going to get my little wooden spoon out to stir it with. Let's see how it turns out here. And really, that is it. Once this gets to be mixed in, you want all the milk to mix in with the butter and the flour. That reminds me, whenever I moved this bowl around, I had remembered that in a video or 2 that I made, I was scraping the bowl around and you could hear all the sounds as I was doing it. To slide the bowl around, let's use my knife to clear it off the spoon. So when you're cooking, you don't have to use 20 pieces of utensils, which I've been known to do. And getting down to the bottom of that for the flour. And what it says to do is pat it on your, it said a cookie sheet. My iron skillet here, my flat one, and I thought it might be a nice thing to do there. It doesn't say anything about oiling this down, but I am. This right here, I'll spray this real good. I have my little brush to brush it around with. I've just washed my hands, so you know that I'm going to have clean hands. I'm going to dump this all out here. And I know, instead of getting it stuck to my hands, I'm going to spray some oil on my hands. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, let me make sure I got my rings all the right way. Now I'm going to just push this, mash this together. And it says to cut it in 16 pieces before you bake it. Okay, let's see if I can cut 16 pieces. Well, you know what? I think I'll spray this with a knife. I'm glad I checked my video because all of a sudden it went off. Okay, I got 4 pieces. Now I got 8 pieces. Wow. Now remember, this is going to rise a little bit, so we'll see. And there is the, this makes 16 if I'm counting right. Put this in the oven. It says bake it for 10 minutes. It's going in the oven and I'll be back. It is already heated and ready to go. Okay, I just pulled it out of the oven and it took longer. I think my oven might be baked slower. I think I've told you that before, but I checked it at 10 minutes and I thought, no, I mean, it might have been done, but no brown at all. And I like my things a little doner maybe than some people. We're going to give that about 5 minutes and then we're going to dig into it. I'm back and I'm going to pull one of these out. It looks like it's mostly separated. And let's just see how this turns out. You need them to go back in the oven a little. Yes, you guys. And I'm going to swing this thing up where you can see me take a bite of it. And then I'm going to have some lunch. Okay, I am back. This is small. You can have bigger pieces. This made 16 of these little ones. And remember, you can put fruit in it. You guys, honestly, I've had scones different places, but I don't know that there's one that tastes any better. This is my friend Arceli. Remember, hello. I told you about her? And she's going to try these scones I made. And would you take a bite and be honest?
Of course.
Okay.
Honestly, they are delicious.
You know what the difference is? They don't have any baking powder in them.
Is that why they're softer?
Well, it's cream of tartar. Cream of tartar and...
It's really good. Very soft.
You have to watch the recipe.
I'll watch for the recipe.
Okay. And so, this is Arceli. Thank you, Arceli, my friend.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
I do think I need to put this in just for a few more minutes. So I'm going to put it back in the oven. You guys, This is really good. And you've seen how easy it was. So if you want, go ahead and make some. Be sure and go and check and see what everyone else on hashtag budget meals under $5. Now, you know, in fact, I will put a link to at least one or maybe two of my cooking videos down in the description where you can just check out some of the others if you would like. I have lots of different ones, and you might enjoy some of them. And be sure and come back tomorrow for hashtag new to me. I have some new things I'll be wanting to show you. I'm going to eat now. You guys come back. Good.